Okay, so for this deep dive, we're going to Drum Barracks.
Drum barracks, yeah.
It's in Wilmington, California. Have you ever been?
I have not been, no.
So this is a former Civil War military installation.
Okay.
And apparently he's got some spooky stuff going on.
Spooky during the Civil War. Interesting. I didn't realize the Civil War even reached the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, actually it did. And so this drum barracks was established in 1862,
Okay.
and it was a training and processing hub for the Union troops.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. And only one of the original buildings is still standing. So it's now a museum, and that's where all this spooky stuff is happening.
Gotcha. So it's like a direct link to that era.
Yeah, yeah. And so for this deep dive, we got a bunch of firsthand accounts. We have the museum director, volunteers. We even have an exterminator.
An exterminator, what does he have to do with ghosts?
No, you'll see. You'll see.
Right.
We also have a psychic investigation.
Oh, okay. This is getting interesting.
So our mission is not to debunk or confirm anything. We're just going to kind of look at everything and see if there's any patterns.
Yeah, just analyze it all. Look for any themes, any connections.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds good.
So to kind of set the scene, the museum director, Marge O'Brien, she had a very specific feeling when she first went to the building.
Okay.
And she said it was dark and very sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost felt like it needed help, like the building itself.
Wow. So like it had a weight to it, a heavy presence?
Yeah, like something was weighing it down.
That's interesting that she picked up on that.
It is. And, she said that even before any of the paranormal stuff started happening.
Oh, so this was like her initial impression.
Yeah, like right when she started working there. And then, get this, they did all this restoration work on the building. They fixed it up, made it look all nice.
Right, tried to revitalize it.
Yeah. But then after that, a bunch of spooky stuff started happening.
Oh, wow. So it's like they awakened something by restoring it.
Yeah, maybe. And it kept happening. It wasn't just like a one-time thing. Like, it became kind of normal there.
Huh. It's eerie. Makes you wonder about the connection between the building and its history.
It really does. Okay, so one of the things that kept happening, the lights.
The lights, okay.
Yeah, so like Marge, the museum director, she would lock up the building at night. Like, make sure all the lights are off.
Right.
Especially in places like the parlor, the gun room, all these specific rooms.
Sure, make sure everything's secure.
Right. But then the next morning, she'd go back and some of the lights would be on.
No way! Like the same light she had turned off.
Yeah. And it wasn't just like one light bulb. It was like whole rooms.
Huh. So definitely not just a faulty switch or something. That's strange.
Very strange. And then there was this volunteer. Her name's Yasmin Malieri.
Okay.
And she said that she was locking up one night and she pulled the blinds down. And she was like walking away and she looked back.
Yeah.
And one of the blinds was going up like really, really slowly.
Oh, wow. Like someone was pulling it up.
Yeah, that's exactly what she thought too.
Yeah.
Like someone was holding it, making it go up slowly.
That's creepy. You'd definitely freak out if you saw that.
Totally. Now there's this other story. It's about the exterminator. His name is Fred Duran.
Okay, the exterminator. You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, so this is where it gets kind of interesting. So Fred, he didn't really believe in ghosts before this.
Skeptic, huh?
Yeah. He said that he thought of a ghost like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Right, like a cartoon.
Exactly. So he was at Drum Barracks doing his, extermination thing.
Right.
And he heard footsteps. And then he heard this man's voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
A voice. What did it say?
So the voice asked for water. And then it asked about Maria.
Maria. Interesting. Like it was looking for someone specific.
Yeah. So Fred turned around to see who was talking to him.
Yeah, of course.
And he saw this figure dressed in like a Civil War uniform.
Whoa, hold on. So he actually saw something.
Yeah. And get this. Later, he told the caretaker and some of the workmen about it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's the captain's ghost.
The captain's ghost. So like a known entity there.
Yeah, like I was a common thing.
Yeah.
And Marge, the director, she was like, yeah, Fred's a really honest guy. I believe him.
Wow. So they all kind of believed it.
Yeah, they did. And it's weird, like, why would it appear to the exterminator?
Yeah, you'd think it would be more likely to show itself to someone who was interested in history or the paranormal, not just, someone there to do a job.
Right. It's very strange.
It is. So what did they do next?
Well, Marge decided to bring in a psychic.
A psychic. Okay.
Yeah. Her name was Barbara Connor.
Okay, and what did the psychic find?
So she said that Drum Barracks was full of restless spirits. Like, just all over the place.
Full of them. Wow, so not just this one captain.
No, lots of them. And she had some like very specific encounters, like in the officer's lounge. She said that there were spirits playing cards, and there was one that was looking through the curtains.
Looking through the curtains, like as if they were still alive and just going about their day.
Yeah, like it was normal for them to just be hanging out there.
Yeah.
But then she ran into this one. She called it an aggressive phantom.
An aggressive phantom. Okay, that doesn't sound good. What do you mean by aggressive?
So apparently this spirit, he wanted his chair moved closer to the fireplace because he was cold. And he was complaining about his boot being too tight.
His boot being too tight. That's a very specific complaint.
It is. And here's where it gets really crazy.
Okay.
Marge, she does her research, and she finds out that Colonel Curtis, the longest serving commander at Drum Barracks,
Yeah.
he had frostbite in his left foot.
No way. So the spirit complaining about the cold and the boot, could it have been?
It could have been Colonel Curtis. And because of the frostbite, he had to wear a boot that was a size too small. And he would drag his foot when he walked. And the psychic, she didn't know any of this.
That's wild. It's like too specific to be a coincidence.
Right.
So this Barbara Connor, she's got some credibility then.
Yeah, it seems like it. Oh, and there was this thump, thump, thump sound that people kept hearing.
Thump, thump, thump. What was that?
Well, Barbara, the psychic, she said it was a little boy throwing a ball against the wall.
A ghost boy playing.
Yeah. And she was like, just ask him to stop.
Just ask him to stop. Like, it's that simple.
That's what she said.
Uh.
And then, another thing. Barbara, she saw this vision of Colonel Curtis sitting at a table and messing around with a box.
Okay.
And he wanted an award to be put up on the wall.
An award. Like, he felt he deserved some recognition.
Yeah, like he was really focused on this award. And at first, Marge didn't know anything about Colonel Curtis getting any awards.
Right.
But then she did some more digging, and it turns out he got an award for his work with Native American tribes.
Right.
But it was after he left Drum Barracks.
Wow. So the psychic picked up on something that happened after his time at the barracks.
Yeah, like it was something that was important to him, even though it happened later.
Huh. That's interesting, like a lingering desire or something. So it seems like we have a lot of firsthand accounts from people at the museum.
Right, yeah.
And then we have these more subjective insights from the psychic.
Exactly.
And in a lot of cases, they line up with actual historical facts.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky how it all comes together. But the thing is, it's not just Drum Barracks. Like, other people have had weird experiences at historical places, too.
Oh, really? Like what?
So there's this one listener, Adri. She volunteers at other historical sites.
Okay.
And she talks about how some houses just feel active.
Active, like full of energy?
Yeah, like there's something there, but you can't see it. She also said that once she heard this laugh, like carried on the wind.
A laugh on the wind.
Yeah. And it happened at this like perfect moment. And then another time she was alone and she heard the sound of Booth walking.
Just out of the blue.
Yep.
Man, that would give me the chills.
Right. And she said that whenever she goes into one particular house, she just feels immediately on alert, like something's going to happen.
Wow, it's like the place itself has a certain vibe.
It totally does. Then there's this other comment from a guy named Bill Blasky.
Okay.
And he brings up Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, wow. So another Civil War site.
Yeah. And he mentions how they found this bone pile there from a Civil War surgeon.
A bone pile. That's grim.
Yeah. And he says that there are tons of ghost stories from Gettysburg.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, given how many people died there, it's almost expected, right?
Right. And it makes you think, like, is there some kind of connection between places that had all this trauma and these paranormal events?
It's a compelling thought. Maybe these intense emotions and events somehow leave an imprint on the location.
Yeah, maybe. And then there's this last comment. It just says my hometown, so we don't know their name.
Okay.
But they grew up near Drum Barracks.
Okay.
And they also grew up near the Banning Museum, which is another historical site.
So they were surrounded by history, basically.
Yeah. And they said that the whole city is full of ghostly spirits that linger.
Wow. So it's not just Drum Barracks. It's like the whole area has this reputation.
Exactly. So it's like, maybe it's not just about these specific events, but maybe it's something about the place itself.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, does the reputation influence people's perceptions, or is it the other way around?
It's a chicken or the egg kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so to kind of wrap this up, we've talked about all these strange things going on at Drum Barracks.
Right.
The lights, the blinds, people hearing voices and footsteps. And then there's this whole thing with the captain's ghost and Colonel Curtis.
Yeah, and we can't forget the psychic's findings, especially the stuff about Colonel Curtis that she couldn't have known.
Right, that's the really crazy part.
It seems like there's definitely something unusual happening at Drum Barracks.
For sure. And then all these other people chiming in with their own experiences,
Yeah.
it just adds another layer to it.
It shows that these kinds of things aren't necessarily isolated incidents. These experiences are happening in historical places all over.
So as we finish up, what do you think all of this means? What does it say about our relationship with history?
That's a really good question. I mean, think about it. These places, like Drum Barracks, they're full of memories, emotions, maybe even echoes of the people who were there before us.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes those echoes become a little bit louder, a little bit more noticeable, and we experience them as something beyond our normal understanding.
So, we're not just visiting these places, we're kind of stepping into their stories.
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes those stories might have a way of reaching out to us. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does.
It makes you wonder about what else might be out there just waiting to be discovered.
Well, that is all the time we have for this deep dive. Thank you for listening.
Until next time.